Man, that's probably the closest we've come to really playing a complete game. I think from beginning to the end and really finishing off strong. Our guys were just thought they were great. Intensity was good, and we needed to have that to beat a team like Duke. And we know how hard they play and how intense they are. And I'm just proud of our guys the way we hung in there, and they made their run at us, and we were able to make another run back at them. And just a good win for our program.
Javi said that games like Arizona, Florida were a tough way to learn a lesson, but that they learned from those. What did they learn from this, and how did they put that to practice tonight?
Well, I think that finishing a ball game and understanding that it's never over. It's never over until the horn blows. And they came out and trapped us late, and we had to take a couple of timeouts, and that we had to make some adjustments. But just being, they were talking to each other about being receivers and getting open, and then at the end there, I was just talking to the guards about keeping the ball moving. We don't want them to foul us. That's what you don't want. When a team's trying to foul you, you don't hold the ball so they can foul you because the clock stops. Now you got to make free throws. If somebody's open, pass the basketball, keep it moving, and let the clock run. But I think what he's talking about is just the way they finished the game, just making the plays that they had to, making free throws down the stretch, just finishing it off.
Coach, you talk about starting the second half, though, because that's where it really good after they hit that unlikely shot at the end of the first.
Yeah, that was a tough shot that Smith made, and but our guys came out the second half, prepared, came out ready to go again, and we just talked about starting early again, like we did in the beginning of the game, just coming out with great energy, and we did that, and we made a quick run right there. That's key. There's certain parts of the game when you have to try to control it, and the beginning of the second half is one, and good teams do that. Good teams do that, and so we're trying to learn that, but we did it tonight.
Coach, when Tracy were worried about their bigs, but Tracy seemed to have his way from the start.
They were man to man. They didn't really help down into the post. A couple of times they were digging down in there, but they're big and physical, and they were just playing them straight up. And Tracy was, he had a good game tonight. He was able to score down there for us and give us the presence inside. But they were going to play him straight up, seemed like, and like I said, a couple of times they were digging in on him, but Tracy was able to score.
What do you think the difference between this team is? I mean, first two games in conference compared to now, you're playing like a top 25 team.
Well, I think our energy level, number one. I mean, just the way we came out, and we're very aggressive, and defensively we're there, and we really got after them early. We got out full court pressure, man-to-man defense, and trapping, and doing some things, and just trying to get them going. And that was one of the adjustments that we made to try to help our guys get going in this ball game. But that was the difference. We just came out with aggression, and we were active, and defensively we were good, and offensively we were good. But defensively, to hold this team 38% shooting, that's very good. That's very good.
Speaking of offense, at times it seemed like you guys couldn't miss and that you were consistently getting open shots all night. Do you agree?
Yeah, I thought we moved the ball around. I thought we moved it well to the open man. I thought we set screens. Our cuts were sharp, which you have to do against them because they're denying you. And then we were able to get the ball, most of the time where we wanted to get it to start the offense. And that's not an easy task against Duke. I mean, they were excellent defenders. But when we were able to get it where we wanted it, we were able to execute and find the open man, and then we made some shots.
So you talked this quarter basically sat out the second half at Clemson, and then they stepped up big time today. You talk about the change from Saturday to today.
Well, the changes, you saw the difference in our ball club. And those guys are playing well. We just have a small margin for error, and we need all of our guys. We need all of our guys. We're not there yet where we have certain guys, 3 guys or 4 guys that we're going to put up numbers every single night. So we have to do it by committee, but so that means we need everybody. And you can see the difference in our ball club, obviously, when Javi and Dennis are playing well.
You kind of predicted a big game.
Late in the game, you broke into a smile in the final seconds. Finally, were coming. What was going through your mind, and how does this rank with some of the other wins you've had here?
What was going through my mind was how hard these kids played, and quick flashback to a couple of games that we lost, you know, that didn't think we should have, and just to see them finish it off, even down to the end where I was telling them to move the ball around, they just continued to do it all the way, and just proud. I was just proud, you know, and I mean it's a big win. It's a big win for our program and for our players. And for our fans. I didn't know they were storming the court, but that was when I turned around after, you know, shaking their Duke's hands and saw the crowd out there. Man, I thought that this is great. This is what it's all about.
Coach, you talked about they've got you're using two guys. You got at any time two guys on the court who have played some point guard in their career. It seemed like you were able to take advantage of that and create. They created shots for themselves, also created for your big man.
Yeah, you know, since we put Farnell in the starting lineup, it's just a different dimension for us. You know, his ability to get to the basket, his ability to bring the ball up the floor and relieve Javi or relieve Julius of the pressure. We're a different ball club, and I think when you see the best teams in the country, really, they always have three guys that can handle the basketball with this pressure, and Farnell gives us that. So when plays break down, or if a team is good defensively, like Duke, or they take you out of your first option, now you have some guys on the floor that can create something, you know, for themselves or for their teammates. And those plays really, they break the defense down. It really does. After you play great defense and you stop the set, and now one guy gets it and he makes a move and creates something, it can suck it out of you a little bit defensively. And Farnell gives us that.
You know, your team has really done well coming off of emotional losses this year. Is it just as much of a challenge now to come off of an emotional win, you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the growing part. That's the part now to understand not to be satisfied. You know, this is a good win for us, but, you know, tomorrow's over. You know, it's done. I mean, enjoy tonight, but now we have to get ready for another tough game, and now we have to bounce back. But I think the important thing is for us to realize how we had to play to win the ball game, and that's that growing part. That's the part that we're working towards. But I told our guys actually before the game in the locker room, before we came out on the floor, I reminded them of how well we've bounced back from a loss. We've always come out and play well afterwards, and I told them our fans, they've seen that, so they expect that again. So let's go out and do it, you know, and they did it.